bad.
No, I think we're doing good now,
Oh,
man.
all right. Twerking with the devil. Oh.
You know, the beginning of that, I was expecting a firehouse to come after it
What?
because it reminded me. Remember Jericho started doing the like little like kiss the Paul Stanley thing. I'm all,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, exactly. He was talking about doing oh yeah with his buddies. The first time I heard that story, I'm like, Chris Jericho and I had something in common.
Yep.
So, my buddy and I also speak Stanley knees to each other, and no one else gets it or cares.
Get something off my chest for all you people, all you animals.
Dude, let me get this off my chest is one of the greatest things that has ever happened in the world, especially if you
Uh,
listen to it and think about it as like one stage announcement, because that is how it's presented. So the idea of him like talking for 55 minutes between songs is hilarious. Anyway,
Man,
let's go love ya.
song you help make number one.
Number one.
Back in the day, there was that Paul Stanley uh, CD that we're talking about. Every once in a while, you'd see it come out as like a bootleg, and I was like, I don't know, man, I don't need this. But I think there is like a YouTube stream of it where
There
somebody just
is.
put it up and is like,
Thank God.
thank God in heaven.
Dude, seriously, because when I thought it was something I'd missed my opportunity on, I was really bummed. And then I, like you said, it's on YouTube, and it's like, yes. And then you listen to it, it's like worth every second of searching.
Good. Hope you. That's what they need to do. Just put it out there in just the description. Hope you enjoy it, brother.
Brother, it's for you, brother.
But hopefully everybody had a good Easter. Hopefully the Easter bunny brought you your little Nas X Satan shoes in your Easter basket like I got. I don't know. That's the only joke I have.
Man, dude, Easter came and went. I completely forgot about it, and it's because um, everybody went Bucky on Reese's this year. They're hard to
Ooh,
find. They got
they were
bought.
they were gone Thursday.
Yeah, yeah, and I get it. It's not like I'm mad at anybody because I love it too. But yeah, man, it's like man, people knuckled down this year, man.
I've said it before. Uh, to me, Easter is the underrated candy holiday
Hmm.
of the year. Halloween and Christmas, you can get stuff that you can just get year round.
Yeah,
You know,
Halloween's nice, but I would have Easter too as well. Easter's great.
I just I've always it's not that I prefer the Reese's egg
Hmm.
over the regular Reese's cup,
Me
but
too.
they've tried to do more versions of it throughout the year. They're like, no, just stick to the Reese's egg. Let it be its own thing.
Yeah, I feel the same way, and that might sound psychotic, but I'm with you. It's like the Christmas trees don't taste the same. It's not. I mean, the ratios. My
And it's
buddies
not
and
the
I
same.
discuss this all the time. The ratio is the only thing that matters. It's the
Yeah,
only thing that matters. It's the reason for me the little what would be considered fun size, not the super tinies, but the fun size, and
yeah,
then the eggs. That
yeah,
those are the best. And then the regular ones are good too, but it's just I don't know. Fun size is just basically you take the regular Reese's and you bite it and you chew it up and it's all good and it's a really nice ratio of chocolate to peanut butter. However,
yeah,
if you get the fun size ones, you toss that sucker in. So it's peanut butter with chocolate on both sides of it, and it changes it. It's just it's stupid to
yeah.
put this much thought into it, but I get excited about my candies.
I get excited about my foods, but it's legit because uh, the other Easter candy that I absolutely love is the robin's egg. Uh, People would call it just a Whopper or a malt ball you can get throughout the year. Not the same.
They're not.
And what back in the day, back when Easter was first created, when I was born,
When Bret
uh,
Hart invented Easter.
read us the Easter. Uh, now that you can get peeps year round, it's now I have a whole year to avoid these things. As far as I'm concerned, a peep you can shove straight up your butt. To be fair, I love me a good marshmallow, but oh
It's
my
got to be
word,
good.
can you mess it up? It's there's a fine line. Uh, just a marshmallow by itself, a little bit of chocolate and a graham cracker, you're gonna have yourself a good time. I don't even necessarily need it in a hot chocolate drink. I don't need it. But to me, a peep has always been the most disgusting thing. It's like, who dropped my marshmallow in the dirt?
Dude,
Why does anybody like this?
I had yet to meet the person that does like those. I've never.
They,
Excuse me, and I know some folks that get excited about candy like I do, man, but
mm-hmm,
Peeps are just, I don't know, man. I think it's just this national disgrace, and it has to be somebody that's incredibly successful in some other line of work that it's just that it's like you look at HBO's smattering of shows and all the things
mm-hmm,
they've had that were critically acclaimed and people loved and won all kinds of awards and all that stuff. And there's The Wire, which, don't get me wrong, when I say critically acclaimed, if they've ever had anything half as critically acclaimed as The Wire, I don't know what it is. So I don't mean to make it sound like no one liked it. It's just no one watched it.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
HBO lost their shirt. 5 out of the 5 seasons they made that show and did not care. They took their
Yeah.
profits from other things and did this thing they wanted to do. And I think that's the deal with Peeps. It has to be like Bill Gates or Elon Musk or someone like that has to. I love Peeps. What are you idiots talking about? That's it. That's Elon Musk's entire motivation. Is like, fine, I'll just leave Earth and go to Mars, and we'll have Peeps every day. You fuckers. So
You don't appreciate that.
Earth sucks. You guys are stupid.
My home planet needs me.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
One thing I can say that was new this year that I tried, rolled that dice on the Reese's game, is they did do a Reese's cup that had it's hard, it looked more like white chocolate when you look at it, but it was advertised as a marshmallow top.
Okay.
And I got me a bag of them, and I was looking forward to racking up on all the discounts tomorrow, and I think those are gone too. Because man, honest to God, went out. I want to say it was Thursday, just to try to get my game plan down.
Yeah. Where do I need to hit when they put all this stuff on sale? Wait a minute.
Oh, that damn it!
I ain't nothing for y'all put on sale. Shit.
Man, it was already gone, so it's kind of like, well, that problem's solved. Ain't got to worry about that, mouse.
Seriously, man.
Y'all get any Memorial Day candy coming down the line? Where's it at?
Hey, where's that Memorial Day candy coming so I can come back the next day and get it cheap?
Come on. So, what are y'all doing? But man, that's my other thing that blows my mind with the Easter holiday is, when did this uh, trend happen of chocolate crosses? Chocolate in any kind of religious symbol. I'm like, who said this was a good idea?
Yeah,
Why would anybody do this?
That's weird, man. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah, and they were selling them like a son of a bitch at the Walmarts. But I was just like, of all the crowds and people that would have a problem with that, like I would expect them to, they're buying the hell out of it. It's like, my God. And y'all can't let little Nas X twerk with the devil, but y'all can eat a chocolate cross. Where's the justice?
You got no problem with eating the very side of Christianity for your damn treat. You got no problem putting that in your damn gullet and eating it. But you won't tell little Nas X how to live his life. I don't know.
I think it's a double standard, and I don't like it.
I don't care for it.
No, sir.
You know who else doesn't care for it? Bret Hart.
That's
You know
right.
what Bret Hart doesn't care for? Anything. We were discussing before the show started that, man, I do feel bad saying it because I love Bret.
Little Bretty Sunshine.
Oh my God. I love that guy. He's one of my favorite professional wrestlers of all time. But as I told Jared earlier, and I'll tell you guys now, Bret's got matches I will enjoy watching forever. But man, if I never heard that guy talk about anything ever again, that'd probably be okay too.
Yeah.
Because, God damn. It's like, Jesus, man.
Insufferable is the word.
God, it is just taxing, just downright taxing. Listen to that guy talk about anything, man. He can do a freaking intro for his DVD set, and it's like, oh God.
Oh my god.
Hi, fans of the World Wrestling Federation. This is Bret the Hitman Hart. I want to welcome you to my special for this collection, greatest matches of Bret the Hitman Hart. This is clearly the greatest matches in World Wrestling Federation history.
I allowed you to have.
Yes, this is me. Thankfully, friends of my family didn't steal these from my family. And you were allowed to watch these because I say so, not because Vince McMahon says so. It's because I say so. But included are the best match of Stone Cold Steve Austin's career and the best match of Owen Hart's career, my brother who died. The best match of Yokozuna's career, the best match of Bret Hart's career. It's like that's what he would be like, and also his introduction would probably put Paul Stanley to shame.
Oh yeah.
They would have like a little sticker over.
Strap in, ladies. Brett's here.
Bret's here. It's fine. God. Anyhow, so I really didn't have anywhere to go with that other than like, it's just a bummer. Like we talked about, man. I wish I loved that guy, but and as a wrestler, I do. Work wise, I still think he's great. But where this all started, I was telling the man that I was watching. YouTube has a shoot interview with William Regal that is just, it's every bit as good as you expect it to be. If you hear shoot interview with William Regal and are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
Push play.
Yeah, dude, you will love it every bit as much as you expect to, because that's what happened to me.
He just didn't seem like a shoot interview guy to me. I was surprised he'd even do one.
He is not. That's what's so cool about. You're exactly right. It is so cool that he spends a lot of the video talking about how it's like, not that this isn't his thing, but the pro wrestling. It's like, yeah, he's like, it's just not my thing, you know. But he has this one thing where he's talking about wrestling action figures and stuff like that, and just his take on it is just so cool because he's explaining like, when he was a little kid, he's always wanted to be a wrestler, always. And he said, you know, back in the day, there weren't like action figures of wrestlers, so I would take Action Man and have the matches and stuff like that. And he's like, man, you see the stuff that comes out for the kids now, and he's like, man, I'd have never left home. And it's just awesome. I just think that's so cool that he looks at it now, even as a fan, like, God, that is awesome. That's so cool, man.
These spoiled ass marks that come to my table and I send for him. I don't like it.
God, I wish I'd had this. This is awesome. But he's very cool. But I was watching that, and then when that ended, another shoot interview started, and it's like, it's one of those things we talk about it all the time, man. It's like the old A&E biography. The ones that you want to see are really good, and a lot of times the ones that you don't think you want to see are every bit as good, and sometimes better. They'll really impress you. Like, oh, that's awesome, and that happens with shoot interviews a lot too. And this was Hall and Nash, who I'm not, the man can tell you, I'm not a particular fan of. Scott Hall's a hell of a worker. I do like Scott. Scott's cool, but they're just not my guys, man. But the interview's awesome. It was so enjoyable and so just real cool. And they were, again, I was telling the man that he had told me this story, and I got to see Scott tell it about. It was Diesel and Undertaker. Man, sorry, y'all. Sorry, Diesel and Undertaker trying to set their stuff up for, I think it was WrestleMania 12.
Yeah.
And Taker just having to kind of thump Brett on the forehead, like, man, let us do some time. It's a good story. It's a sucky story because I like Brett, and I don't want. It's like the Barry Windham story about the Dusty Rhodes. I love Barry, and I hate throwing him under the bus, but that's the story, so I don't want to lie about it.
I'll give people the benefit of that. Everybody can have a bad day. But the Brett story, I've heard this from way too many times.
Absolutely.
It feels like.
That's a good point about you bring up, especially in conjunction with Barry Windham, because he did straighten up and he signed the shirt and everything was cool, and it was just like moment of weakness, made a mistake and amended instantly. I don't know if he did that because Dusty told him to or because he just wanted to, but it doesn't matter because he did it. And that's cool. That's a good point to bring up because you're right. It's like that could very much. It's the only time I've ever heard a story like that about Barry Windham. So, for all I know, that's the only damn time it ever happened. And he fixed it minutes later, so that's pretty cool. But you're right with Brett. Oh, no, this ain't the only story. Oh, no, it's not it at all. And, I don't mean to just crap on the guy. And I do love his matches, and he's still part of one of my Fire Pro Wrestling inside my own head watching it dream matches because people always try to pick who they would like to see in dream matches. And mine, Brett and Kurt Angle. Oh my God!
Yeah.
You take Brett at his peak and Kurt at his peak. I think that could literally be the definition of a fight forever match. No matter how long they're out there and no matter how it ends, you just want them to keep going. I mean, that would be that's a fun game, man. We'll have to do like our all-time fantasy. But I say Fire Pro, but it's because I play this crap all the time. Hey, dude, I'm always constantly having like I'm bad to replay stuff, but I'm forever having like Keiji Muto versus Masawa. I mean, come on, man. 1995, who in the world wouldn't have wanted to see that? All of us wanted to see that. That would have been unreal, man.
Yep. Yep.
So I got way sidetracked. I'm sorry, man.
I just think that what you're talking about is a lot of those shoots out there that you sit down to watch and just kind of like, man, come on. But my deal, and I think Kevin Nash has done some solo that it's kind of take or leave, but he has that kind of Brett side heart to him where he's up his own butt a little bit, but having Scott there to be the counterbalance really makes it, enjoyable. And because they did one with High Spots back in the day. Maybe it was ringside. I get them confused. I had to picture which banner was hanging behind them.
Me too.
it's them together was the thing.
Yeah,
it made it enjoyable to sit down and watch. But I could probably sit down and listen to Scott by himself, but I don't know if I can do Big Kev.
Yeah, I could.
In the
I
butt.
Get behind Big Kev or in the back. We don't care.
You don't care.
we don't care. It was funny, actually. There were a couple of times in the video where Scott Hall actually drops "We don't care" in there, and he was just really shooting. But it's like, yeah, I've heard that before. We don't care.
So this is a theme.
He really doesn't care.
Yes,
but
I buy that.
But I'm with you. I think I could listen to him alone, and I'll give you another one that's like that. Maybe not like that, because you get interesting stories. But I think that getting Bubba and Devon together, I think Bubba by himself would bother me. I think Bubba by himself, it seems to me that Bubba Ray Dudley in a shoot interview by himself is like watching a shoot with the Honky Tonk Man. Yeah. You watch a shoot with the Honky Tonk Man, first half hour is great. Second half hour is real honest. And that third half hour is him being pissed off that he's still answering these damn questions. And he's in full-on character. I think Bubba does the same thing. I think in the very beginning he'd be all right. Then eventually he's going to start bully raying it up because it's all like, man, we still doing this? All right, then we doing it. So you start getting a little bit more.
Y'all's $50 run out long ago.
Long time ago.
Long ago. I'm a connoisseur of the shoot interview. Part of the, inception of us sitting down talking is just like, let's just talk bullshit all night because it's fun. And I like to listen to people talk bullshit all night because it's fun.
We had this idea a long time ago, and one of these days this will surface, that we were literally just going to shoot a fake shoot interview. We're just going to pretend that we're professional wrestlers and just make up bullshit stories. And it's like, that'd be cool. Why not? But it basically turned into this. So it's all like, hey, man, this is what we do now. Scott Hall was a hell of a worker. That was my catchphrase that I stole from Ricky Morton.
That money you stole.
Give me some of that
stories
money,
you stole.
That catchphrase you stole.
So that money.
Basically, we're going to be a shoot interview cover band, and we're just going to tell stories that we heard other people tell about other people that we don't know, and we're going to pretend they're ours.
How am I supposed to get the Nasdaq's sitting shoes for my little daughter?
My little daughter.
My little daughter.
I'm supposed to pay for the new little Nasdaq's download for my daughter. Little daughter, she wants it. She likes Old Town Road or whatever the shit that song was called.
Man.
Dirt Town Fart or whatever it was called.
Horse Trap Road or whatever the hell.
For real. One Horse Town or whatever that shit was called.
No, yeah. Man, I just don't. I ain't done crap today, other than work and have people come in and be like, I can't believe you're here. Like, well, you here, ain't you?
Yeah, it was always fun working retail on a holiday because everybody wants to tell you how sad they are there, and it's like, yep, there's one reason for that.
And I really don't want to hear it.
Dude, seriously, like, come on. Yeah,
Tell
come
it a
on.
walking.
Yeah, dude, seriously, man, come on. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I just called to see if y'all are open. We are. Click.
We used to do that shit where we would answer the phone at the video store. I just trying to see if you were open. It's like, well, we're not. It's just my shift to answer the phone until people were closed.
Yeah.
Sometimes people wouldn't show up.
well, all right then.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
You too.
Love you. Bye.
Hey, man, it's cool. Happy Easter. He is risen. Goodbye.
He's alive.
Yeah, he is risen. That's something we can talk about. As I'm with you, all I've done today, I told the man, some charitable and wonderful soul uploaded onto the YouTube the old Tom Hanks movie, That Thing You Do, which I love that movie, and it's a weird. It's not weird. I'll tell you very quickly without too much detail why I love that movie so much. No, pardon me.
Goodness.
Okay. There's different levels. I swear to God, this is going to make sense in a second. I think. I think for my own experience, shouldn't say I think. I don't know what it's like for other people, but I myself have been in love exactly 2 times. There was the first girl I ever fell in love with, and then there was the second girl I ever fell in love with who loved me back. We're talking about girl B. Okay, the second girl. This is somebody I knew back in them Blockbuster days when I was answering phones telling people to fuck off. We used to just hang out and watch movies and talk shit and laugh, and it really, to this day, it's very nostalgic when I look back on it and understand that. But because at the same time, I was 20 years old, man. Everybody, it's so weird. People talk about that shit all the time, but like, oh man, you missed out on the college experience. I'm like, no, I was 20. I was 21. It's like, I know that you think that your experience going to college is special. It's not.
I got my shit in.
Plenty spectacular for, I think, most everybody. So there you go. But it's a great time. It was awesome. Awesome. And so that's just what we did. Hung out, watched movies, had a great time, and we just clicked. And I'm sorry, I would give you more details than you need. I want people to understand, not that they need to, but I guess I need to say it out loud. This is not somebody I still carry a torch for, only in this regard. I'll love her forever because we genuinely loved each other. But this is somebody who went on in her life to, I believe, have 3 kids. I know she had 2. I think she had 3. That is not something that I'm into.
Yeah.
That is something that if she had lived her life and not had kids, that wouldn't have been cool. Because being a mom was something she always wanted to do. Then she got to do it, and then she got to be the mom to the specific people that are her kids, and it's amazing. So I don't mean to make it sound like, oh, what could have been. No, one of us would have wound up really unhappy.
Yeah.
So we were meant for each other when we were together, and everything's cool. And one of the things that went down when we were together is we watched really cool movies together, this being one of them. She's the one that turned me on to that movie. And I've loved it. I've loved it ever since I saw it. It's been a long time since I saw it. So I'm trying to watch it on YouTube, and it's all good. It works. I just can't get it to stream. So I'm like, see about getting a copy of that. That'll be fun. Told the man. Looked up the Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray will get you the standard cut and the director's cut. The director's cut's like 40 minutes longer. That's a big deal. Anything over 15 minutes is like, boy, that's a serious director's cut. So I watched it this afternoon. Loved every second of it. I love that movie. I think it's awesome for several reasons. One of them being that Tom is awesome. Dang, sorry. I apologize. That's ridiculous. I think Steve Zahn is one of the more underrated actors on earth. I love that
Yeah.
guy. I think he's hilarious. Everybody that knows Steve Zahn knows he's hilarious. But man, when he starts drifting away from the comedy pool and does drama, he is
Brother.
that guy is a fantastic actor, and it's just fun to see him because he's basically John Lennon. That's pretty much the character that he's supposed to be, and he's awesome. I love it. So I spent my afternoon watching that. I spent my evening watching them Atlanta Hawks do
Yeah,
that
man.
shit again. Do it again. It was awesome. We were discussing, man. This was my thing about the Hawks. This is my thing about the Hawks. Don't get me wrong. Trey's out there because Trey's the man. It's very cool, actually. If you look recently at the Hawks' uptick in victories, look at Trey's points. I think Trey had
Yeah.
15 points tonight, man. He doesn't care. It's like, that's dangerous shit right there. If you don't have Trey Young jacking up a bunch of threes he doesn't hit, but instead he had one today. Perfect example. Wound up getting a steal at midcourt. Comes out to Kevin Herter. Herter lines up for a three and then kicks it over to Trey, who's right there in the old elbow. Trey spots up for a three. The defender dives over on him, and the second the defender cuts, he don't even take a shot. He just does this little half whoop, backspin on it, gets it over the defender. Capella goes up, alley-oop. And it's like, if Trey Young is starting to make them decisions. Like, no, 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 man. Defenders coming. Let's take these two. Oh boy, yeah. These boys might be a problem come the playoffs. Is what I'm saying, man. Maybe only in the first round. Maybe only in the second round. But it's like you can see Trey's brain getting big, and as the point totals go down, I don't care, man, because an assist is worth 2 points. Anyhow, it's so much fun watching him play, and I was so bummed when they got rid of Lloyd Pierce because I love Lloyd. I think he's a great guy.
Yeah.
God Almighty, what they're doing now? It's like, boy, Nate Robinson. It's not a surprise that Nate Robinson's a bad sucker. Nate's been a head coach before. Nate's a bad guy, but it's like it's just unbelievable what these fellas are doing now. And I love it. I mean, I hate it for Lloyd, and wherever he pops up next, I hope he does great. But it was the right decision, clearly. And, oh my God, they are just so much fun to watch. I can't help it. It's crazy too because Steph Curry, my God, he had 35 tonight. I mean, he just did what Steph does, man. He just hits everything. That guy just didn't miss nothing. He didn't have a particularly good night from three, I don't think, if I remember his numbers correct. He wasn't terrible. I mean, he got his points, obviously. But, man, our bench went nuts. I think the Hawks bench had 55 points in that game. I couldn't believe we didn't kill them. When you saw the bench scoring, it was like 55-19. And I'm like, how did we not railroad these guys? But it's because Steph Curry had 35. It's like, damn it.
I bet.
Yeah, dude, but they won, and it's like, oh, it's thrilling watching those guys play so well. I love it. But I brought that up to say that is without John Collins. It's without, I would say Tony Snell, but it's not Tony Snell. It's Chris Dunn, the other kid we got from Chicago. It's without Cam Reddish, and it's without DeAndre Hunter. And that's my thing. DeAndre Hunter and John Collins are fundamental to our success. Except apparently they're not, because look how well we're doing with both those guys out. And I'm like, man, we get all the pieces back. I ain't saying we're going to make a run, and no, the Nets are still the prohibitive favorites to win the Eastern Conference. But I take us back to a conversation you and I've had for a long time now, and I hope I don't sound too bellyachy because I'm not trying to kill Steve Nash. What Steve Nash did is brilliant. It's very smart. Steve Nash started talking that shit about Trey Young. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't about that game. And of course, Trey didn't get any calls for the week after that because Steve's a two-time MVP and he's very likable and awesome. But that's not what he was doing either. Steve Nash knew at that point, man, if we play these guys in a 1-8 or a 2-7 situation in the playoffs, these guys will be a pain in the ass. So I need to get my earworms in the referees right now. And that might not have been at all what he was doing, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. So oh boy, Steve is it just seems, I don't know, I guess because the talent on the
sowing them seeds.
I think so too. And I guess it's because the talent of the Nets is so good. And Steve being a first year coach, I don't know. If you tell me I'm giving him too much credit, maybe I am, but I don't know. It just wouldn't surprise me. Steve Nash was one of those genius players. And athletically brilliant players sometimes don't make good coaches. But athletically brilliant and genius are not the same thing. Nash had some good athleticism. He's a soccer player. It's not that he was a complete dud out there, but his brain is what got him, as is the case with most point guards. It was his game intellect that made him what he was. And it's like, yeah, that's translating over to a coach. I can see that. And also with him having played in the NBA, knowing when to move out of the way, knowing when to pull the Phil Jackson and be like, just let Michael. That's good stuff too. It's cool. Like whenever Kyrie wants to be Kyrie, hey, look, man, I know a lot of people don't like Kyrie, but I'm gonna tell you something. He was my point guard, and he decided, hey, I need a day off. He getting the damn day off.
Yeah.
If you see, it's something we talked about forever, man. Where I know that Tony Kornheiser absolutely hates him, and I get it. I get it. He's just decided that he's too smart for his own good. He's a jerk and la-di-da. And it's like, okay, Ivy League, I understand you mad that Kyrie's smarter than you are and he knows how to play the damn game. But my thing with him was always, well, the Celtics are better off without him. Yeah, what deep playoff run did they make without him? Because we've talked about him, and the whole thing with Kyrie is y'all want to talk endlessly about you need that postseason player who can find that next level and get you over the top in crunch time. He's that guy. Probably more so than any single player in the NBA. He's that guy. Kyrie Irving. Man, 2 minutes to go and you down by 6. I don't want anybody over that guy, including I love LeBron, but give me Kyrie because Kyrie is a dog and he's that guy. And I don't know. I don't mean to pick on Boston. I loved when he was up there actually. But how'd they do without him? Oh, they're better off without him. How'd they do in the playoffs without him?
Well,
Not so good. Not so good. Again, I hate when that everything comes down to the playoff run. But that's y'all's words, man. Y'all the ones that want to make everything about the postseason, so let's make it about the postseason. You get Brooklyn in the Eastern Conference. They still make me nervous, but I can see Atlanta making them nervous, only in the sense that they're the favorites. So if Steve Nash is, like you said, putting those dimes in the piggy bank,
yeah.
I understand. I totally understand, man.
Mhm. Yep.
Pardon me.
Playing that game.
Yeah, dude. Hey, look, it's part of it. I understand totally, man. That's just cut and dry. It's just what we
Yeah.
gonna do, man.
Yeah.
Anyhow, got way sidetracked. That thing you do in the Atlanta Hawks. I've had
Yeah.
a non-productive Sunday, but it was a good one.
Man, talking about director's cuts
Mm.
and some of the weird ones that are out there. One of the odd ones that you'll come across is, I think it's the director's cut of the Oliver Stone movie Alexander is
Oh
actually
yeah,
is actually shorter
yeah.
than the theatrical cut.
It was just
So,
weird.
how does that happen? that that used to be a big selling point back in the day of like the red bar across the top of the DVD director's cut. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, I gotta see that. And a lot of times you watch it and you're like, I see why a lot of this was cut. you know.
I will give you, in my opinion, excuse me. Here are the director's cuts that I really, really like. Um, that thing you do was great. I thought it was good the first time, but it's cool. But one of the director's cuts I've seen that for me made the biggest difference in the movie was Natural Born Killers, man, on the subject of Oliver
Yeah.
Stone. The
Yeah.
director's cut of that movie is fantastic. The regular one I never cared about, and it's significant. The crap they made him cut out is very important for the story. It really matters. So that's a huge one. Excuse me. Another one that I know we agree on, and I mean pure director's cut. It'll make sense with what I'm about to say. But Watchmen,
Yeah.
dude, the director's cut of Watchmen is the Goldilocks cut because you've got the theater cut, which is not good.
Hmm.
It looks good because it's Zack Snyder, but it ain't good. Then you have the Black Freighter, Jesus Christ, everything under the sun cut, and it's just way too much. It's just
Yeah.
overdone. It's the one right in the middle, the director's cut. It's like that one is sweet. They did a real good
Yeah.
job with that. Oh man, there was another one I thought of a second ago, and I don't remember what the heck it was now. So, Blade Runner, the
Yeah.
ultimate, the greatest of all time,
It's
because everybody hates the original cut of that, but just the first, like, the director's cut, not final
mm,
cut, not end of time, not all that redux bullshit, but
mm,
just director's cut. It's
mm.
it's glorious, fantastic.
It's the way to do it.
It was awesome. That was really, really good. And that wasn't the one I was trying to think of, but if the one I was trying to think of comes back, I will let you know. Excuse me.
It's Blade Runner is one of those movies where it's almost argued about as to which one is the director's cut. It's like, no, it says it on there. You can go with this one.
Yeah,
We
it's
promise.
I've got, because I'm a idiot, I have got the little miniature Blu-ray box set that's like 4 disc, and it's got, I believe it's 3 definitive cuts of the movie, and then a bonus disc. So one of them is the theater. Actually, I think it's got 4 versions of the movie and then the bonus disc. But one of them is like the American domestic theater release.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the European theater release, excuse me. There's the director's cut, and then there's the, I think it was the final cut or something like that. I don't remember what, or definitive or something like that. It's that one right there.
Mm-hmm.
The theater cut is the one with the voiceover that annoys the shit out of everybody,
Yeah.
and the international cut I never watched. It's the director's cut. No audio, no voiceover, none of that shit. You do have oh, what was his name? Spinner. You have Spinner's little origami, which is, I think, massively huge.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one. That's the one you want.
Yeah.
Final cut I never watched, because as far as I got from it, it was just like the Star Wars special editions and THX 1138, which, honest to God, THX 1138 is even worse than Star Wars. Because with Star Wars, you had that one little window where you could buy the DVDs that were the unedited versions. And prick that George is, he put them out and they look like shit because he wouldn't clean them. Oh, this is what you guys wanted. It's just how you guys wanted them. And it's cool. Because, yeah, dude, they're indestructible copies of the original Star Wars movies. I'm totally set. It's no problem. And one day he'll die, and I guarantee you Mickey Mouse will release that shit exactly the way people want them, which is the THX box set without the special editions. It's what everybody wants. Everyone knows what they want. It'll happen.
Yeah.
Anyhow, where was I going? Oh, but THX 1138, as far as without the additional shit, which really does look bad. I mean, you can tell what has been added after the fact. As far as I know, the master copy of that movie without that shit, he destroyed, man. It just does not exist anymore. And I'm like, now that sucks, because that was a cool movie. I like that movie. It's weird, but it's okay.
That's the same rumor that's out there about the wars. Is supposedly there are no actual reels of the theatrical release in existence. I don't know that I believe that.
That's okay with me. I can tell you why.
If you are able to take the laser disc and put those on DVD, I know somewhere there's a THX.
Absolutely. The
THX be able to use.
The THX box set, which everyone will remember because it was the primarily black box with the huge faces. One was Darth Vader, one was the Stormtrooper, one was Yoda. Everyone remembers that box set.
It's the Step Brothers t-shirt.
Exactly. Yes. Everybody remembers those. Those were on Laserdisc all over the planet. So George can piss and cry and shit himself about it if he wants to, but that's too fucking bad. Those exist, and that's just what's going to happen. That's what'll happen. I guarantee you, the second Disney bought Star Wars, if you did get rid of the original masters, I guarantee you they went and bought that shit up. I can't wait. I just can't wait. I'm thinking that maybe they're trying to have some class and wait for him to die. But I'll tell you what, if that motherfucker makes it to 90, they're going to be like, fuck you. If you're not dead yet, we're selling this shit.
Too bad.
Too bad, you old ass.
What you going to do about it? Nothing.
You ain't going to do nothing. You don't know why? Because Goofy will stomp your ass. Send Goofy to George Lucas's house to beat him up.
You ain't even spend all that money you stole.
Yeah, right, money you stole. Speaking of going to somebody's house to beat them up, I've done that thing again where this is not a deep dive. This is one of the things that it's prominent. I think people talk about it. It's no Queen's Gambit, but it's out there. I only say it that way because you and I have talked before about how Netflix is fascinating to me in that their viral marketing on social media ain't nobody got the stroke they got. Because Netflix always has at least one thing that is completely propped up by social media.
Mm-hmm.
One thing which got a nice buzz and then got this whole second wave of push from social media. And then the other stuff that is just so freaking good, people
Yeah.
talk about it.
Legit good. Yeah.
Yeah, you have those three. Absolutely, you got
Yeah.
those three things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Queen's Gambit, I think, is the middle one because I do think that people really watched it and got all excited about like award season and shit. Like, hey, here's perfect examples. We can actually do all three. We'll do all three right now. Whole cloth. We're going to talk about it on social media till everybody thinks it's a thing. I care a lot. Who gives a
Mm-hmm.
fuck? I don't know anybody. I know one person that watched it and she hated it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still hear about it all the time. But oh man, it's trending top 5. Oh my god, I care a lot. Fuck off. I don't care about that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Nobody cares a lot about I care a lot. So there's the first one.
Mm-hmm.
The middle one is Queen's Gambit. I think people really did jump up and down over it. And ever since then, the relentless social media campaign will just make you want to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
The third one, the example that I'll use right now for myself, is it's called Unorthodox. And
Mm-hmm.
it's this book about this this woman who grew up a Hasidic Jew, and
Mm-hmm.
it's basically like where you've got like oh what the heck's her name, Leah Remini doing her stories about Scientology,
Yeah.
and you have like the stories about like leaving oh for Pete's sake, like Amish country, and like being
Yeah.
shunned and stuff like that. It's that kind of
The
story.
There's those stories of the one of the daughters of the I can't recall the name of the church that would show up and picket funerals
Oh
left.
God, Westboro
Yeah, yeah,
Baptist.
yeah. And so, like something like that. That's I think she's got a documentary that's about leaving the family and.
Dude, it's different.
Hmm.
It's gonna be different shit. I'm gross. I'm sorry, y'all. I
All
thought I
good.
ate long enough ago to be okay. I'm probably just drinking that too fast because I'm a savage. I'm
Yeah.
just delinquent. Um, but anyway, it's called Unorthodox, and it's just fascinating. I love
Mhm.
it. I think it's really, really good. And it's cool the way it works. It's something that you and I talked about with WandaVision. And my brother and I were actually talking recently about with Justice League, piggybacking on something that you told me about Justice League, where I'm like, cool, Zack Snyder director cut. Okay. Then I saw the runtime and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Make a mini series. And it turns out he did. And I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. I'm glad you told me that it's, oh yeah, he broke it up in like 4 episodes. Like, yes,
Hmm.
excellent, right on, good decision. I like that
Hmm.
kind of stuff. But the idea of like pacing things like that, you know, you're going to do this 4 hour cut, but you literally pace it to where there's endings and you can be like, okay, here's one chunk. Okay, here's another chunk. That's cool. Instead of just like, okay, here's your 4 hours
Yeah.
or here's your hour, you're done. It's
Yeah.
cool. And we talked about it with WandaVision in the sense that, excuse me, anytime you stream anything that was not made for a streaming service, the repetition will wear you out. If you're an idiot
Hmm.
like me and you watch 12 episodes, it's like they have made that joke at the same point in every episode for 10 episodes, but it's because it was only once a week. They were trying to
Hmm.
get catchphrases over, and there were certain stories they didn't want you to miss, so I try and tell myself to remember that. But now that people are making stuff for streaming services, they don't do that. Like
Hmm.
WandaVision seemed very cognizant of like, no, don't do that again. No, do it this way. It was really, really cool. And I'm like, that's neat that people are paying attention to that. Anyway, I brought all that up to for some reason. Oh, this is cool. It's like that with the show that I'm watching. One of the fascinating things about that show, from a just a movie making, if you want to call it a movie, because it's only 4 parts. It's like 4 hours long. So we're back to Transformers. It's like a mini series.
Yeah.
But the beginning of that show, the beginning, they throw you right in to her leaving. And it's like super tense, and you're like really, really nervous, and you don't even know what you're nervous about. It's really well done. I'm like, God dang, how did they do that? I don't know anything about these characters, what the hell's going on, but man, I hope she makes it.
Hmm.
Crazy. And then they'll go and fill in the gaps and tell you what the story is. And it just, the pace from each episode is totally different. But I've been afraid to watch part 4. One, it's like your last chapter of a book that you're really enjoying and you don't want to be done with
Yeah.
it. And the other
Yeah.
thing is there's a character in it that I just know is let me not say it that way. I was going to say I just know he's a piece of crap, but that's not the case. He is a piece of crap, but everyone knows. It's just that I'm nervous. It's like,
How hardcore are we going with this piece of crap?
if this idiot goes where I think he's going to go, how mad is this going to make me? Am I going to be okay when the story's over? Will I be able to sleep tonight, or will I just be furious? Or I'm nervous. I'm very, very nervous to watch the last episode.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's called Unorthodox, and it's really good. It's another thing as far as where the story just throws you in.
Mhm.
And then very slowly, they'll give you the backstory, but they do it bouncing back and forth in time because, again, clearly we're starting at the breakup. So it's like, what the fuck's going on, man? So the actress, the lead actress, has this very definitive little black haircut. And I bring that point up for a very specific reason. And it's because there's like I don't know anything about, I know very little about Judaism and nothing about the difference between Jewish people and Hasidic Jewish people. I don't know. But apparently, um, brides, the shaving of the head of a bride is a huge ceremony. That it's in the movie, but it's in the thumbnail, so I'm not ruining anything when I tell you that. If you seek this thing out, you'll see it. But I point out the hair because it's just this like black hairstyle, and it's black for a very particular reason. You can look at it, and eventually, if you're paying attention, you'll realize in the first scene it's a wig. But that's just whether if you see it, that's cool, and if not, you don't care. But let me just go ahead and ruin it. In the very beginning, when she's packing her shit up, one of the things that she empties is this just a little mannequin head. Picks it up and pulls money out of the bottom of it. And if you know that's where you keep wigs, you understand, you know what you're looking at. Anyhow, none of that shit matters. The color is what's important, not whether or not it's real hair. But it being black is huge because then you'll bounce back to other scenes, and she'll have this oddly middle of the road between brunette and blonde. This is weird. It's like the perfect midpoint. But that's her actual hair. And the whole point, the whole reason they do that is so you'll know at what point in the story you're at. Really smart. Very, very good stuff because the actress don't change. She's very, she just looks the same the whole time. Because the whole deal is the marriage was supposed to have been just barely over a year. So you're not going to change a ton in a year. But if you do something dramatic, like, okay, hair color, let's have like stark black over here and natural over here, boom, people can keep up. And they did a really good job. It's not, with time bounces, things can be confusing, but they did such a good job with that. It's easy to keep up with. It's just good shit. And it's a weird thing to get hung up on. But again, I ain't finished the story because I can't go into like other detail. I got to finish first. But the beginning of episode 1, I was shocked. I was so impressed. Like, man, whoever like thought this through, this is really, it's based on a book. But I'm like, you can do time bounces in books, and you can stamp the chapter by telling me what the date is. In the movie, they don't do that. So if you're going to go back and forth in time, what a cool visual clue to give everybody. I was super impressed, clearly. But it just, like, God dang, that was neat. It's good stuff. Cool. It's good stuff. That's a really good show. It's intense, but it's good.
Yeah, man. That's Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
It's one of theirs, so it's like, all I mean by, we've talked about it before, man. Anytime you watch anything on Netflix and you're making your choice, if you don't see the little red N in the corner and it's something you want to see, by God, watch it now, because you never know when it's going to go away.
Yeah.
But if you do have the little red N, you can take your time, because that's theirs. It'll be there forever. And this is one of those, man, where it's something they made, and I'm like, sweet, take my time.
Yeah. Pace myself.
For real, man, I'll watch this thing at my leisure.
I ain't got to binge nothing, Netflix.
That's right. It ain't going to hurry me. I'll come at this. Nah. I was watching the Braves a little bit this afternoon, which freaking Philly got us again, man. But it was just like,
season's over.
Oh God, we're done. But
no.
Actually, I'll take that back. I didn't watch them any today. I just saw the score, but I saw them yesterday. And good old Pablo Sandoval was pitch hitting, which is just neat that the Panda plays for us now.
Yeah.
But some dude threw like a I think it was a 1-2, and he threw him it's a 1-2. You're ahead. You're going to throw garbage. So he just throws this little breaker, which really didn't miss by much. But Panda just stood there and kind of shook his head a little bit. And I'm like, nah, Panda don't swing at that.
Nah.
you just couldn't help it, man. Ricky don't swing at that is one of my favorite stories I've ever heard, man. It's just my favorite thing is him telling the story and reenacting all the physicality. It's like, nah. He's like adjusting his jersey. And just, nah, Ricky don't swing at that. It's such a good story, man. And Ricky Henderson is on that short list of greatest baseball players that ever lived that never makes the list of greatest players that ever lived, man.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up, too, man, especially when you consider, like, his base stealing antics changed the game to the point that no one can do that now. It's just, you can't do it. Pitching techniques are so different now with, like, throwing from the stretch and just holding guys on. It's like, it's just not. The crap he did is impossible. No one will ever do it again. It's fascinating. It's like, looking at what guys like Cobb and them did with batting average. It just made hitting such an art that pitching had to become this counter art. And it's like, if you hit 275, you're real good. You hit 300 now, you're a genius. And it's like, and I hate that people just bag on batting average all the time, because it's not like you have to hit 300 to be good, but it's still very impressive when you do. It's like
it's noticeable statistic, you know.
I think so too. I'm like, that's my thing, is if you tell me well, batting average is overrated, it is. It totally is. You want to know what else is overrated? Touchdown passes. Because, considering that guys throw into the fourth quarter now, okay, that don't really mean nothing, man. It's like every statistic is meaningless without, like, detailed analysis, without going in depth. I mean, if you it's like, I love James Harden. I think Harden's a blast to watch play. People always kill him for his passing. Like, well, he just gets all of those assists because they get up real big and he just pads the stats. Nobody in the NBA gets up real big. It doesn't happen that way. James Harden gets crazy assist numbers because when people get tired of getting burnt on that step back and start doubling him up, he'll pull a Jordan from 96, man. Michael, we've talked about it before, man. Michael's passing numbers don't get enough credit, and his passing skills damn sure don't. And I get why. I mean, he's Michael. He's a scorer, and I get it. But he really was. There's that video. I know I've talked about it before, man. But you can tell that Michael Jordan grew up watching Magic Johnson. And anytime he wanted to put on his Magic Johnson shoes or cover band or whatever, he could do it. I mean, it was crazy. And I hate saying that because I'm a Magic guy and don't care for Michael. But it's a lie to pretend otherwise. It's a lie. That just if Michael got in a point guard mood, it wasn't just that he was real good. I mean, he's the most Magic-esque player I've ever seen, not named Irvin Johnson. It's amazing. It's really incredible. Like when people do the compilations on YouTube, it's just like, my God, man, it's cool. Anyway, I bag on Michael all the time, so I'm like, you got to say something nice about Michael, because again, to pretend otherwise is a lie. To not like Michael is totally okay, but to try and pretend that he wasn't as good as people, I don't want to say he wasn't as good as people say he was, because he's the Dark Knight. Anymore, all the shit people talk about him, nobody's that good, but he was real good. he was awesome. Yeah, dude. Anyway, I got way distracted on basketball, but that's the point. That's what happened. I spent the afternoon watching the Hawks, so I'm all like, oh, Mike Fratello, oh, Mookie Blaylock. I'm just thinking about all the old school that I just absolutely love, man.
Yeah.
That was something I was asking myself. I've always tried to figure out. I'm trying to rank my all-time Hawks. My favorite Hawk of all time is Doc Rivers, because I was a little kid. He was the point guard. It's always the guy. It's just like being fascinated by quarterbacks. Whoever's got the ball, that's who you're going to watch. Now, football is a little bit different, because the house I grew up in, I grew up with my dad, and my dad was a linebacker. So all my brother and I care about is defensive players. We don't care about that quarterback shit. That didn't impress us. Basketball's different, though, because, like, give me a point guard, man. So Doc Rivers and Magic Johnson. Kareem was my main man, but it's because I thought, when I was a little kid, anybody taller than 7 feet, I immediately thought was in a club that hung out with Andre the Giant. So they're my favorite people. So Andre the Giant and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar were my guys. Yeah. But I do remember being fascinated by Magic when I was a little kid, because it's just you can't watch anybody do that stuff physically. It's like watching Michael Jackson perform. You can't watch anybody do that and not just be blown the hell away. And then you get older and you watch it, and it's even more impressive than you thought it was when you were a kid. But it was still, I've gotten way sidetracked. But it's nostalgia night. I'm talking about first girl I fell in love, second girl I fell in love with, and 80s crap that I grew up with.
When it comes to favorite Hawks players, my first thought always goes to Kevin Willis. But then I'm like, well, how can you not like Stacey Augmon? And it's like, how can you not like Spud Webb? And because
Spud was brilliant.
Because it's always like Dominique's at the top, but it's always like, okay, who's number two?
Yeah, Dominique is Dale Murphy. It's everybody else. I totally. Oh yeah, it's interesting too. We talk like if we start like exactly like you just did, and I'm with you. You start rattling off Hawks that you remember fondly. You can get 25, 30 deep before you come up for air. But the fascinating thing about Dominique is that he is definitively the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy, man. It's so cool. And see, I feel that way about Dale Murphy for the Atlanta Braves. Now, Henry Aaron is an icon in Atlanta, and people love him. But as far as his career goes, that's Milwaukee. He put his huge numbers up in Milwaukee. So for just Atlanta, there's Dale Murphy, there's Chipper Jones, and there's whoever's third. It's fascinating. It's real cool. Excuse me. I think about that a bunch with the Braves. Is I think about like who are the most popular Braves, because Chipper's way up there. People that like Chipper love Chipper. And it's weird too, because with Chipper, it seems to me there always seemed to me to be there's a huge gender bias with Chipper, because all the dudes hate him and think he's overrated, and all the girls love him. And I'm wondering if all the girls loving him is why all the guys think he's overrated. I always thought Chipper was amazing. I loved that guy. I always thought he was great. So it's like, whatever, man. You guys are just fucking idiots. But another one, as far as like just overwhelmingly popular Braves players with everybody. I shouldn't say everybody, but for Chipper, because again, guys hated him. But I think for my lifetime, besides Murphy, because we all worship Murphy, but man, can you think of a more popular Braves player than freaking Steve Avery, man?
Yeah.
Who didn't love that guy? We all loved he was God, and that's just like that's neat, man. But that's one of the cool things we've talked about before. It's one of the coolest things about having teams that you actually give a crap about, and teams that you spend your life watching. Is that sometimes it's guys that if it was national media, they wouldn't even talk about him. But if you talk to anybody in the circle that loves the team, you say Steve Avery, it's like, oh yeah. It's exactly what you just did with Stacey Augmon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, yeah. As soon as you say Stacey Augmon, it's like, oh hell yeah, that's awesome, man. And then I give you another one for the Hawks. That this is not like, as I mentioned, the deep weeds earlier, and this is not. Mookie's God. Mookie's an interesting guy because I think Mookie's one of those dudes. He's one of those Galarraga guys. That if he played in your town, he's one of your favorite players. I think Nets fans still worship him. We all still worship Mookie was God. And Dikembe's the same way, and it's cool too because they were teammates here in Atlanta. But one particularly for Hawks fans, again, this ain't deep weeds because we all love him, but I think you have to be from Atlanta to love him. Is Steve Smith, man.
Hell yeah.
Steve Smith was a bad sucker. He was so good, and it's like, yeah, that guy, I love it. It's fun to talk Hawks with someone else that's been around forever because it's just. They're great. The Hawks are a blast, man. We've been a snake bit franchise because we were pretty doggone good in the 80s, but the Celtics were real good. And then we were still pretty doggone good in the 80s, and the Pistons were real good. Then we got real good in the late 90s, but Mike stopped playing baseball, so there's that.
Yep. Crap.
Really, damn. We were right there on. That's why I'm still mad at Michael, man. He finally decided to hang it up on baseball. I'm like, God damn it! Right there. We were right there, man.
Yep. Oh, dang it.
Like, damn, what are you doing, man?
God. You know you want to go make Space Jam 3?
You know you want to, man.
Yeah.
Just give Dominique. Just give Dominique one.
Yeah. Shit, man. I think that's what's up, man.
Yeah, man. I think I've babbled enough. I don't. One more thing from the pro wrestling ranks.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, less than a week after New Japan announced that horrible new championship they
Oh
got, which
my word!
it's not their fault. They all suck. I don't remember the last time I saw a championship belt I thought was good looking.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll take that back. I know a lot of people like the MLW belts.
Mm-hmm.
The world title is not really my thing, and it's sad to say the tag titles aren't my thing. But the one that Leo Rush has, I don't know if it's junior heavyweight or welterweight. I'm not sure what they call it, but the one Leo Rush is that one's nice looking.
Mm-hmm.
And then, at least the last time I saw it, the championship that PWG gives out, that one's cool. It's so classic looking. It's just so old school that I love it. But for the most part, I think that wrestling championships are trash now anyway. Let's give
Yeah.
the rundown.
Oh
All of
Lord.
WWE's belts look like shit. They just do.
Mm-hmm.
None of them. Well, I shouldn't say none of them, but for the most part, it'll look good. The new Intercontinental title sucks. 24/7 sucks. The world titles suck. I think that I will say, as much as I dislike the world title design, the women's version with the white leather is nice.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
like
cool
those.
looking. I like the NXT titles are okay. The NXT tag titles I really like. Those are sweet
Mm-hmm.
looking. The AEW tag titles look good. I'm alright with those, but for the most part, it's just not my thing. I try not to trip too hard because modern championships aren't my thing. That being said, the New Japan World Championship, or whatever the hell it's called, it's awful. Um,
Yeah.
but Osprey won it. Osprey actually beat Kota Ibushi for it. So it's like, man, they've had that thing out for a week and they've already switched to like, all right, cool, man, do y'all.
Sweet, sweet.
Yeah, it is what it is. I like Ibushi better, but again, ain't nothing etched in stone. So
Yeah.
we'll have Osprey, and apparently he's going to defend it against Okada, which apparently a lot of people are already shitting themselves because they're like, man, you're already taking Ibushi out. You're going to put the belt back on Okada, and here we go again. And I'm like, Okada, I just don't think that's what they're going to do. Okada beat Osprey in the New Japan Cup tournament for a freaking reason. It's so
Mm-hmm.
now Osprey's, yeah, I'm the champ, man. And I'm pissed off because this jackass beat me, and clearly I'm the best because this says I'm the best, and I'm going to go prove it. So then you go and get your win back. I think that's
Yeah.
what they're doing, but I don't follow it that closely anyway. Not as closely as I should. But I've mentioned this guy on here before, and I'll do it again. If you want fantastic coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling on Instagram without having to pay for New Japan World, or if you can't afford New Japan World like me, Darth Vader 1, Darth Vader
Mm.
underscore ONE is a kid in Holland that follows New Japan real closely. Man, his coverage is so sick and so fantastic. No bullshit, no bias, nothing. It's just good pictures and a write up. It's just like, this is what happened. Awesome. That's a great
Just,
account. One of my favorite follows on Instagram ever.
just give me what I need.
Just facts, like no opinion, no very, very little commentary. I mean, as far as
Mm-hmm.
like the results go, it's just results. When he does commentary ones, those are separate or posts, and you can get those if you want to or not if you don't. But it's like,
Mm-hmm.
right. Oh, one more thing about New Japan. You know, New Japan does that thing where they'll give you one free match every week on YouTube. Now you only got a
Yeah.
week to watch it because again, they got New Japan World. They're not going to give the store away for free because I was trying to save all of them, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. You guys are smart. But
Yeah.
if you want to see two tanks just absolutely smash into each other, it's Evil and Tomohiro Ishii, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be good. If you like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna rip off Marty and Sarah, or excuse me, no, this is Brian Zane. It's a hoss
Mm.
fight. It's gonna be a hoss
Yeah.
fight. I absolutely
Yeah.
love the term hoss
Yeah.
fight because when he says it, the mental image is like, oh, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I love when he says that. It's
Like
like, yep.
they still out there housing it, brother.
Dude, anytime he says hoss fight, my mind, of course, immediately goes to anything that Watts booked in Mid South. That's it. That was
Yeah.
the ultimate
Yeah.
hoss territory, man. Where
Yeah.
6'3" and 240 was like, what you doing there, Junior? That's the small guys there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Housing it.
Dude, 6'3", 225, and every lad's like, boy, you need to get yourself out to the. Oh, I forgot the word I'm looking for, man. Go to the buffet, put on some weight, boy.
Yeah.
You're too small to work in the territory for the cowboy.
Stealing Bill Watts' money.
You don't need to be doing that. That's one of my. Anytime Ernie Ladd comes up, it's one of my favorite things. It's the part of the Cornette show that I love.
Mhm.
is when he talks old shit. And I know that he can't do that all the time, and I get it, but it's worth him belly aching about the new shit to hear the old shit. But
Mhm.
it's just Ernie Ladd's one of those guys, and Dusty Rhodes is another one. Which, if you watch the William Regal shoot, you will see that being from Blackpool, England, it doesn't make a difference. They are those guys. Terry Funk, Ernie Ladd, Dusty Rhodes are three guys in the business that nobody can tell a story about where they don't at least try to do the voice.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
gonna try and do it. But every time Jim Cornette talks about Ernie Ladd talking to him, he's like, "Let me tell you something, Jimmy Cornette." It's like Jimmy Cornette every time, and it's so cool because it's like, "Yep, that's exactly how he said
Yeah,
it."
yeah,
Shit is awesome, man.
yeah. I can I can see that one.
Oh, dude, totally, man. All right, I think I've babbled enough. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call, man.
Man, that's cool, man.
Hell yeah, y'all.
I'll
Thank you for watching.
I'll see y'all. Ah.